celebrating their efforts. Congratulations to everyone. So let's have a big hand for all the competitors. Good job. I'd like to say, I tell the kids in our program there's so much more than hitting a handball in the court. But what you can learn in the court, you can learn so much about yourself, other people, and the atmosphere around you. You say like handball gloves, 15, 25 bucks, handball, 5 bucks, 6 bucks, eye guards, 10, 20 bucks, but the experiences in the court are priceless. So congratulations to all you players, future, and everyone. So excellent job. Within this tournament, we've got our sponsors, some of our sponsors listed on our tables, and I tell you, we couldn't really do this tournament without our sponsors. And the sponsors, I know I mentioned to you earlier in the week when we had our opening ceremony that the first thing that I asked Vern, when I said that I'd like to do this tournament, I wanted to make sure that he was going to be here. And when Vern committed to being here, I said, you know what? We'll go for it. The next thing was, I asked Lenore Stevens in that room in there that's mopping up all the tables. And I asked Lenore Stevens, and I said, Lenore, even though your kids are grown and married and onto their careers, Lenore was one of our awesome handball moms with her kids in our programs. Would you do this? Would you be interested? And she said, you know what? I'd love to. So then I called Vern, I said, Vern, we're on. And over the time of playing in the tournament, we had people like Marie that's kneeling down here, that's jumped up. Marie Sesson, she's the one, Marie's running around getting bagels, getting all this stuff. And you probably see Marie up here. There's so many to thank on our hospitality, because I believe hospitality is so important to a tournament. Because if we're here, and if the hospitality isn't good, I know we got a Burger King down the street, but that's a long walk to Burger King, and it's cold out there. And the hospitality here was fantastic, and I'd like to thank, Lenore and Marie and all the handball moms and dads that were spending time in that room, helping service, getting that thing serviced and cleaned and full of food. So congratulations, you guys. We so appreciate you. So thank you so much. And Vern Roberts being here is very, very important to us here at the Y. And I don't know how many of you know it. When we started our program back in 1980, Vern was a young pro, very young pro, just coming on the scene, a pro handball player. And some of you young guys, if you haven't seen some of the films of Vern playing back in the day, those are some things to see. But Vern used to come out as a young pro, and he used to help me with our program in the early stages of our program. Every Saturday he'd show up here, and he'd be out there teaching, helping teach, and instructing the kids. And in turn, when there'd be a pro stop in our area, we'd be filing in the front row in front of all the high-paying seats, 25, 30 young handball players sitting in the front row on the carpet watching Vern try to defeat Nadia Alvarado. And that was quite a experience for all of them. Handball back then was amazing. Another person over here, Tim Starrett, used to make the trip. Tim's one of our top players, a national champion, world champion, and Tim has been many hours here at the Y helping with our handball program. So it doesn't all happen automatically. It's a lot of effort by a lot of people. Also, I did want to thank, Gary Cruz for coming in. Obviously, Gary's done so much more for handball than probably anybody knows. I know what Gary does, and I think if all of you knew, you probably have a much greater appreciation for the hard work that goes on here. And Rosemary Bellini, awesome for coming out from New York. It's fantastic to have her out here. And we were having a little slowdown in our tournament control the other day, and Rosemary just jumped right in there and says, hey, boom, I can handle it. She's gone. You're awesome, Rosemary, thanks. And, having Mike Steele come up here, from Oregon, just flying in here for the juniors. I mean, great dedication there. It's amazing, and it's the dedication that handball players are privy to. So, thank you, Mike. in our tournament control, the gentleman that you see in there, and I know you've seen Ray and Lola Marcus, you've seen Art Mikely, you've seen John Kiesling. Art Mikely is the guy that gives all you guys a hard time in there. He's the greatest guy in the world. Art Mikely is actually, believe it or not, the guy that, and he's not here right now, but when I was fresh out of school, Art was the one that actually hired me as a young youth program director here at the Y. He was my boss. And Art went on, and you know, so I've learned an awful lot from Art. So when you see these people around here, they've got a lot of deep history. They're not just people you dragged off the street to help out here. They're awesome people. A couple more, and you know, there's so many that have helped, but I'm trying to hit some major ones. A couple of the alumni, some of our kids that have been really helping out, our team kids that have been here late nights making, like Kyle Kloss made these passes here on the computer in my office. We had Riley Kloss and son were our tournament directors over in the other courts, over at the Prairie Lakes. And you know, they're coming back here and they're rolling back here, posting scores, reffing matches, doing whatever, I mean, had to be done. We had Matt's back here, and I've asked him to come up and do climbing and slack. Matt's kind of a slacker. He likes that slack line. It'll be up tomorrow for you, so if you like to slack and hang out with Matt.
I cannot have one of these general sets of remarks without recognizing the fact that we have 4 members of the Hall of Fame in our presence tonight. One has already been mentioned, that's Rosemary Bellini, one of my heroes. The first woman admitted to the Hall of Fame. Rosemary, please. Bob Peters in a marvelous sweater that his wife put him in, right, Bob? So, Bob is, for many, many years, the executive director of the USHA and a longtime member of the Hall of Fame. And he was, Bob remembers me when I had hair. Would that be true, Bob? And I had bad hair. Would be the only way to describe, you know, remember, those of you who are gray, you remember the Welcome Back Kotter series, that kind of hair. So anyway, and Bob is still my friend, so thank you very much, Bob. Appreciate it. Mike Dow, back there in the same table. Mike is the coach at Lake Forest College. He's the chair of our Hall of Fame committee, and he does marvelous work on behalf of Handball. Mike? And of course, Vern Roberts. There is nobody in the handball world that I spend more time with. We are in constant conversations, emails, telephone calls, meetings, almost every day of the week. And I cannot begin to tell you folks how much he means to the game and how much he means to USHA. Thank you very much.
Go ahead. You guys all do that? What? You guys all kiss each other? Just kiss him on the cheek. I'm curious. Come on, put your arm around your brother. Come on. I gotta race him. Come on.
My arms are sore. My belly is full. My eyes are heavy.
Do the Asian face.
I don't even. Oh my God, I hate that thing. All Asians do that same thing, that same pose. Always.
Trying to get a contract. Antlers.
Does the camera pick up? Got it. Keith, you do a good job.
Did you eat,
I like
Keith?
your work.
Something.
Got his Minnesota shirt on. Is that right? Minnesota? That was my first tournament after my knees recovered. I'm probably playing in
It's running. What about tomorrow?
Oh, well, we're quietly confident. No, we're not. No, just going to play our best and see what happens. Like every other
As
match.
underdogs, we're going to try to pull off a shot. Yes, big shot. Go Ireland! Yeah.
Sure you guys are shit.
Yeah. Shane Hennigan.
Yeah. No, we're going to play our best. Is that what you treated?
Want to say?
Hey man, we're from Ireland. Yeah. Go Ireland. We love Chicago.
Chicago's really cool.
Vegas, he sucks.
Go Katrina and Sean in the doubles tomorrow.
We're going to win. Luciana and me, we rock.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
That's it. I love it.
Okay, tomorrow's doubles match. What's going on, Shane?
I don't know. Let's see what happens.
That's it?
It'll be tough.
Say,
Holler. Speechless.
go ahead.
I'm not.
Keith,
Yeah?
what's wrong with you?
We're on.
Hello MTV, this is Sun Lee, here with the crew from the Junior Nationals. I'd like to thank all my friends, family, and especially God for making this possible. And thanks to the sponsors as well.
Oh, that's hard.
Want to see my face?